Let's begin with Prashanti, which is written, directed and hosted here by Nalini Bhat. Madam Nalini relays beautiful stories of Satya Sai Baba. Let's hear and see her scenery for this week.
Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath.
We at Prashanti offer our humblest pranams at the most sacred lotus feet of Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba. Welcome, brothers and sisters. This is Nalini. Previously on Prashanti, we visited Shri Baba's residence and ashram in Bangalore Whitefield, the Trai Brindavan. Today, let's take you on a journey of Shri Baba's other abodes in different cities. While Prashanti Nilayam, Baba's main ashram, is undoubtedly the spiritual capital of the universe, Baba chose select centers in other cities to act as extensions of Prashanti Nilayam. Why did Shri Baba consent to build ashrams in various cities? This is what Shri Baba said. Why this temple? Is it for my stay? I do not need a huge building. This building will serve the needs of those who follow me around. Since I have no fixed residence, they do not know where I'll be available. This building will give them a place where they can await me, said Baba. After Vrindavan at Bangalore, the first ashram to come up was Dharmakshetra in Mumbai in 1968. This architectural jewel housed many wings, and one of them, Satya Deep, was the residence of Bhagwan while he was visiting Mumbai. It is fascinating how each of the structures that Baba designed carried profound spiritual significance. Dharmakshetra is lotus-shaped, surrounded by water below. The message it conveys is to be pure and unsullied, like a lotus which, though blooms in the muddy waters, is untouched by the dirt around. Satyadeep was completed in 108 days and has 18 pillars, 16 petals and 1008 openings. The 16 petals represent the 16 attributes of the avatar, while the 18 pillars depict the 18 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. The very name Dharmakshetra is rooted in Bhagavad Gita. It is the first word in the first shloka of the Gita, used to describe the battlefield where the noble Pandavas who stood for Dharma achieved victory over the evil Kauravas. The pond surrounding Satyadeep symbolizes the ocean of life and death. The 9 steps from the pond to Satyadeep symbolize the 9 types of devotion with which one can cross this ocean and enter the abode of the Lord. At the very gate of Satyadeep are the symbols of different religions, signifying Baba's message that all religions are one. Thus, Dharmakshetra blossomed to serve as a step upward to reach the spiritual heights.
Bhagavan Baba has blessed us by giving us Dharmakshetra, the platform for all our activities.
In 1971, a devotee had a dream in which Swami appeared to him inside a lingam. The devotee eagerly sought Baba's permission to build a structure in the shape of a lingam in Hyderabad. Baba approved the plan and Shivam was constructed. As Baba explained, the lingam is the form of God emerging from the formless to the one with form. The horizontal base is Satyam, that is truth. The cylindrical structure over it is Shivam, or goodness, and the linga is Sundaram, or beauty. One is the flower, the second is the perfume, and the third is the wind, the formless that wafts the fragrance, which is the symbol of auspiciousness, that is Shivam. Now we come to Sundaram. After many years of longing by the devotees, Baba's abode in Chennai, christened Sundaram, came into existence in 1981. As with other structures, Swami shaped Sundaram brick by brick, be it the doors, the frescoes, the darshan balcony, or even the visitors' lounges. Sundaram, true to its name, blossomed with beauty. Baba also had an ashram in Kodaikanal named Sai Shruti. It is said that Prashanti Nilayam was Swami's office, Vrindavan his home, and Kodaikanal was his playground, especially for Sai students who enjoyed Swami's close proximity for weeks. The various names that Shri Baba chose for his ashrams reflect his own true nature of truth, auspiciousness and beauty, which is Satyam, Shivam and Sundaram. Incidentally, Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram happens to be the title of Baba's biography, also by Professor Kasturi. Wherever Shri Baba is, that becomes Prashanti Nilayam. For the devotees, these other ashrams were nothing but Prashanti Nilayams away from Prashanti Nilayam. Thank you for watching Prashanti. Jai Sai Ram.
Let's get started with Anka Nalini Bhat, who will so very graciously present her loving feature on Satya Sai Baba. This segment here on screen is titled Prashanti, a beautiful segment. Let's take a look.
Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my
We at Prashanti offer our humblest pranams at the most sacred lotus feet of Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba. Welcome, brothers and sisters. This is Nalini. The very personification of love and compassion, Shri Baba founded the Shri Satya Sai Seva Samiti or organization in 1961 to serve as spiritual centers based on selfless service. Wherever there is a calamity, earthquake, floods or tsunami, the Sai Samiti members rush to serve. Over 2,000 such samitis spread in 126 countries are engaged in phenomenal service activities the year round. Shri Baba's main message of love all, serve all finds its highest manifestation in this organization.
The best way to love God is to love all, serve all. Highest sadhana is to transform love into service.
The Satya Sai International Organization is a spiritual and humanitarian organization carrying out the mission of love, selfless service, and self-transformation. The organization neither belongs to any single religion, nor does it preach any. It encompasses all religions and all nationalities. The aim is to realize the divine principles innate in every human being. By practicing and living by these principles through selfless service, a conscious process of transformation gradually takes place. A manifestation of love through thoughts, words, and deeds is the mission of the nearly 2,000 Satya Sai centers spread in 126 countries all over the world. The educational activities include the teaching and practice of the 5 human values: truth, right conduct, peace, love, and nonviolence, through classes for children and parents, and training seminars for teachers. Many administrators have examined the Satya Sai education in human values and adopted it in their schools. Graduates from the Satya Sai University are not only known for their academic excellence, but also for their exemplary character and integrity. There are 41 Satya Sai schools spread around the world. Service activities consists of taking care of the physical, psychological, and spiritual well-being of the needy, without any consideration for reward. Through a network of medical camps and clinics, this organization develops projects directed towards the sick, the aged, the disabled, and the children. The organization also provides home assistance with distribution of food and clothes to the needy and loving care of the environment, nature, and animals. This organization also provides disaster relief. Community service projects such as feeding the hungry and serving needy children are held worldwide on October 20th each year under the Serve the Planet program. There are no membership fees for joining a center, and fees are never charged for any center activity, nor are donations solicited from members or the public. Officers in the organization use their own funds to cover personal expenses incurred in carrying out their duties. Further details can be found by visiting satyasai.org.
Swami has given us Satya Sai organization to which he has lent his sacred name. Swami told anybody who is a member of this Seva Samiti and does loving service will be liberated from the cycle of births and death. Not only they, their children, their grandchildren, and even great-grandchildren. Swami said it is a great good fortune to belong to the Satya Sai organization.
Shri Satya Sai Seva Samiti provides a very highly structured framework to offer selfless service. Also, Shri Baba reiterated that the Samiti should not be for exhibitionistic purpose, nor should it expect any reward, gratitude, or even thanks from the recipients. Shri Baba led by his own example, which is evident in the following incident.
Baba had launched the iconic drinking water project that would benefit more than 700 villages. The village heads decided to visit Puttaparthi to personally thank Baba. As Baba approached them, they knelt down and started saying, "Baba, we are very grateful to..." Baba said, No, I am grateful to you for giving me this opportunity to serve."
Thank you for watching Prashanti. Jai Sai Ram.
Let's hit the road with Prashanti, where the anchor is our dear friend of GTV Fox 5 Plus family, Mrs. Nalini Bhat. This week, Madam Nalini presents a very, very interesting and heartwarming story of Satya Sai Baba. Let's join her.
Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food.
We at Prashanti offer our humblest pranams at the most sacred lotus feet of Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba. Welcome, brothers and sisters. This is Nalini. We wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. It is the auspicious time of Christmas, and what is more appropriate than bringing you the Christmas celebrations at Prashanti Nilayam on our program. Christmas, as Baba pointed out, was celebrated in its truest sense in Prashanti Nilayam, where people from different faiths and religions and different countries and territories converge together to celebrate the life and teachings of Jesus Christ. The universality of religions which Baba taught found its highest testimony in the Christmas celebrations at Prashanti Nilayam. The preparations for Christmas started way ahead of time in Prashanti Nilayam. Meticulous that Shri Baba was, he attended to every single detail of the preparations for Christmas. We have a clip of Shri Baba interacting very lovingly with children who were participating in a Christmas drama in that year of Christmas.
He's a director, very important, very important. very important. Yes, yes. Cold. You, sir? Come on. Come on. Eat it. Today night is very important to have. Be good acting. Do have this prize. You are not acting. Work. Yours. Direction.
Yes.
Director.
You directed through me. You told me last year.
Through you.
Through me, yes.
Yes.
I'm doing a good job.
Yes, very happy. Very happy. When are you going back? January 1st.
I'm going back to America on 2nd of January.
Scholarships, students, good sports. Very, very wonderful sports. Good boy. Fitness card. It's good.
Candlelit procession ending in the Mandir of Prashanti Nilayam, complete with decorations of Christmas, including the tree and the nativity scene, and Shri Baba's discourse brought a very magical atmosphere during Christmas celebrations in Puttaparthi.
Collected all the matter that existed prior to 1530. All that was composed into one book there in England. Russians made it a small book and kept there near the Black Sea in safe custody. In the tiny book, everything is written there.
This is the book.
This is the book. This is the book, the Bible. You find the cross on the book. They also prove the fact is the procedure to establish synthesis of all religions. All that present here is not present anywhere in the Bible. This is brand new story of Jesus. Here you find the bookmark thread. Every thread has got the text of every religion. Most important sloka of Bhagavad Gita is right present here in the bookmark. The sense of all religions is one. Surrender is the main duty.
Baba said, "This day resolve to lead the lives of loving service to the weak and the distressed. Hold dear the ideals Christ laid down, practice them. Jesus was a messenger of God. All of you are messengers of God too. Jesus and his Father are one. You and God are also one. Whatever activity you may be engaged in, wherever you may be convinced that you are ever in God and thus make your lives full and fruitful." Let this beautiful message of Shri Baba get enshrined in our hearts, not just during Christmas, but always. Thank you for watching Prashanti. Jai Sai Ram.
Let's hit the road with Prashanti, to be orchestrated here by a beautiful and a wonderful friend of mine, and her name is Mrs. Nalini Bhat. Let's welcome her.
Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my
We at Prashanti offer our humblest pranams at the most sacred lotus feet of Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba. Welcome, brothers and sisters. This is Nalini. At the outset, we wish you all a very happy, healthy and a prosperous New Year. How was New Year's ushered in at Prashanti Nilayam? While Shri Baba was in his physical presence, Bhagwan himself welcomed it with his darshan, bhajans, discourses, and so on. Even today, all through the year, Prashanti Nilayam is vibrant, with a festival being celebrated or a landmark date being rejoiced, and people from all over the world throng to Prashanti Nilayam to be in the divine presence. Not just January 1st, but various other regional dates which happen to be New Year's at different times of the year also are celebrated in Prashanti Nilayam. What is more, even Chinese New Year's is celebrated in a grand fashion, a true mark of diverse cultures and nationalities being accorded their due honor.
About this day, the New Year's Day. For true devotees, every day is a matter of celebration. It's absolutely necessary to feel blissful at every moment, every hour, every day in our life.
Best way to love God is to love all, serve all.
Wish you a happy new year in the presence of Lord Sun. On this day, from all the way, people have come to pray. We love you, Son. We love you, Lord.
Thank you for watching Prashanti. Jai Sai Ram.
Let's begin with Prashanti here. This will be led by a powerful and yet a charming personality, Mrs. Nalini Bhat. Oh yeah, please don't forget we do have Talk of the Town later in the programming.
Love is my form, truth is my breath, bliss is my food. Love is my form. Love is my form. Truth is my breath. Bliss is my food.
We at Prashanti offer our humblest pranams at the most sacred lotus feet of Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba. Welcome, brothers and sisters. This is Nalini. Today on Prashanti, we bring you an extraordinary event in Shri Baba's life where he revealed the mystery behind the three avatars of his, Shirdi Sai, Satya Sai and Prema Sai. This heart-stopping incident is recorded in great detail in his biography by Professor Kasturi, Satyam Shivam Sundaram.
It all began a few days before Guru Purnima in the year 1963. On that day, at 6:30 in the morning, Swami was walking quite normally along the veranda in the first floor of the mandir towards his room. Swami then suddenly spoke of a reeling sensation and immediately fell on the floor. Kasturi, who was with him, could barely restrain the fall. Even as Swami fell, the left fist became clenched, the left leg stiffened, and the toes became taut. It looked like Swami was having a stroke. In his infinite mercy, Swami had taken upon himself the stroke of paralysis of some devotee. Nevertheless, the divine body underwent all the suffering. Gloom quickly spread all round Prashanti Nilayam, and the inmates of Prashanti Nilayam, standing under the window of Swami's room, wept. The doctor who examined Bhagavan felt helpless and simply prayed to Swami to cure himself. Swami was seemingly unconscious all the time and showed only faint gleams of awareness, as for example, when he pushed away a doctor who tried to give an injection. The divine body perspired a great deal, but Swami could be given only a few spoonfuls of water or glucose or lemon juice, the spoon being inserted after pressing the jaws apart. Swami's body was apparently severely exhausted. Days passed and finally came Saturday, the day of Guru Purnima. Baba had indicated earlier that he would give darshan on that day, and the bhajan hall in the mandir was packed to capacity with tense devotees, anxiously waiting for Swami to make his appearance. Swami was carefully brought down from upstairs, and seeing his condition, everyone wept. Baba was then placed on the silver chair, propped up by pillows. An extra pillow was placed over his chest. Swami then gestured for water, which was brought in a silver tumbler and held to his lips. He sipped a few drops, dipped his right hand into the tumbler, and sprinkled a little water on the limp left hand placed on the pillow over his chest. He sprinkled some water over the left leg too. He stroked the left hand with the right, and then with both hands he stroked the left leg. After that he rose. The pillow fell off. The next thing that the stunned devotees in the hall saw was that the one who had been suffering a paralysis attack had now become perfectly normal, all in an instant. Without showing any trace of the paralytic attack he had just been through, Bhagavan Baba was now delivering his traditional Guru Purnima divine discourse, and he spoke for over an hour. In his discourse, Swami not only explained how he had spared a devotee of a paralytic attack, but also the deeper spiritual implications. This is what he said in part. Quote, "Rescuing a true devotee is my dharma and my very nature. Someone asked me whether it was appropriate on my part to plunge thousands into grief just in order to rescue one devotee. Such numerical calculations cannot apply where divine grace is concerned. You too have benefited, though you might not be aware of it. These last 8 days of my illness stirred your devotion to its very depth, something you would not have achieved either with penance or intense meditation."
Miracle of miracles, Shri Baba, who was completely paralyzed on the left side of his body, rose to speak to the august assembly amid deafening clappings by the euphoric crowd. Then came the most powerful Guru Purnima discourse, like the river Ganga flowing in a torrential flood-like manner. In this discourse, Shri Baba shed light on the reason behind the triune of avatars, Shirdi Sai, Satya Sai, and yet to come Prema Sai. That story and more in next Prashanti. Thank you for watching. Jai Sai Ram.
Let's begin this hour off with a much admired segment of ours, and that is Prashanti. Prashanti details the stories of Satya Sai Baba. This is well comprised and anchored here by Nalini Bhat. Let's catch her on screen for this week's Beauty on Satya Sai Baba.
Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my
We at Prashanti offer our humblest pranams at the most sacred lotus feet of Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba. Welcome brothers and sisters, this is Nalini. Previously on Prashanti, we brought you the story of how Baba cured himself miraculously from the paralytic attack by sprinkling the water on the left side of his body. Today, we'll bring you the story of the reason for Shri Baba's incarnation. Satya Sai is not one avatar, but a series of consecutive 3 divine manifestations which chose to incarnate for the good of humanity. The first was Shirdi Sai avatar, who is the Lord of Shirdi. The second, Satya Sai, who is the Lord of Bharti. And the third, Prema Sai, is yet to come. When Shri Baba, the doctor of doctors, cured himself in a trice, the crowds went from deep despair, from the pit of the deep despair and gloom, into the 7th heaven of delights. This is what happened. Let's watch. Here is the story which gives goosebumps to devotees every time they hear it in Baba's own words. Embodiments of love, Baba's silver voice awakened all to attention. For him who has no refuge, God is the refuge. That is the reason I had to take on this disease that one devotee was to suffer from. I had to rescue him, for it is my duty to save my devotees. Baba spoke for an hour with the same eloquence, the same compassion, the same humor, and the same love as always. I have been keeping back from you all these years one secret about me. The time has come when I can reveal it to you. This is a sacred day. I am Shiva Shakti, he declared, born in the lineage of Bharadwaja, according to a boon won by that sage from Shiva and Shakti. Shakti alone was born in that lineage as Sai Baba of Shirdi. Shiva and Shakti have incarnated as myself in his lineage now. Shiva alone will incarnate as the third Sai or Prema Sai Baba in the same Gotra in Mysore state. This illness has to be borne by Shakti, the consort of Shiva, for she incurred the ire of her lord by neglecting to notice Bharadwaja. For full 8 days at Kailash, Bharadwaja had suffered a stroke. Shiva sprinkled water and cured him. Today, you saw the illness of Shakti, the left half, cured by Shiva, the right half, by the same means. These matters are beyond human ken. So I had kept it away from you so long, but now that within the knowledge of so many, Shakti suffered and Shiva saved, it is time you knew this. The devotee who was saved by my taking over is only the immediate cause. The remote cause is the boon and the retribution, Baba declared. The story in detail goes like this. Thousands of years ago, the great sage Bharadwaja wished to master all the Vedas. He was advised by Indra, the lord of deities, to perform a yajna or Vedic ritual. The sage wished to have Shakti preside over it and bless him. So Bharadwaja left for Kailasa, where the divine Shiva and Shakti reside, to invite them. When he reached Kailasa, Shiva and Shakti were so absorbed in their cosmic dance that they did not notice the rishi standing at the door waiting to be ushered in. Bharadwaja waited in the cold, snow-clad spot for 8 days, apparently ignored by them. Bharadwaja decided to return home. But as he began to descend, he had a stroke and his left side was paralyzed. Shiva and Shakti came running, and Shiva cured him completely by sprinkling on him some water. Pleased with his devotion and patience, Shiva promised the sage that they would both take human form and be born thrice in the Bharadwaja Gotra, Shri Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba, and then Prema Sai. In 1963, Shri Baba suffered from the stroke exactly for 8 days as Bharadwaja had suffered. Just as Shiva cured the sage by sprinkling water, Baba or Shiva, the right side of his body, cured Shakti, his left side, by sprinkling water. Indeed, the ways of the Lord are very strange. One cannot fathom the reason behind the myriad of ways in which the Lord takes form to save humanity. Thank you for watching Prashanti. Jai Sai Ram.